Hey up, Angus, the singing driving instructor here again. Right, this lesson is on emerging left or approaching junctions to emerge left. So hopefully you've got that lesson coming up. Maybe we've just done it, usual sort of scenario. This lesson is a follow-up to this one. Hopefully you recognise it, where we talked about zones of vision, the types of junction, and sort of what you need to be prepared for on the approach to a junction. So I'm not going to go over that old ground because I've already done it. If you've not seen that video, then you'll have to check that one out. So this is the emerging left, and applying the MSM routine to emerging left. I'm going to, when I've done the briefing, I'll cut into some sort of demonstrations of me driving around doing it with a bit of commentary as well, like I've done with other ones. Yeah, so this is emerging left, MSM routine, applying the MSM routine to it. What we do is we emerge safely, okay, taking effective observations, okay, and our aim is to not become a hazard, so without becoming a hazard, in other words, causing anyone else to change their speed or their position. Okay, so that's what you should be able to do, or have a good understanding of by the time I've done this bit of a briefing. So, emerging left. Now, let's imagine this is let's go with a semi-marked giveaway, shall we? Sort of middle of the road. Well, that's a bad phrase. Average one, yeah, average sort of one that you come across. Okay, so we've got the major road here, hazard lines going down to centre line. We've got the giveaway line here, dashes there, hazard lines as you come in. This is the minor road, and that's the major road. Okay. So the zone of vision, let's have the zone of vision sort of, if there were a car there, that's kind of what the zone of vision will be like. Type of junctions are semi-marked giveaway. Okay, so if we're back here, let's run the mirrors signal manoeuvre routine through this scenario and talk about various things that can happen. Yeah, so we're approaching the junction. We're checking his main mirror and his left door mirror for the position and speed of vehicles around and behind us. We're going to signal. We signal at 99% of junctions. We're signalling to people behind us, but also signalling to traffic in the new road as we get there. For example, if there were a pedestrian looking to potentially cross the road here, and we appeared at this junction sort of in that position with his indicator on, then they would know we were coming down there. If we appeared turning right, signalling right, they'd know that they could carry on crossing the road, provided obviously there was nothing else there. So we're signalling, yeah. So checked his mirrors, we signalled. The manoeuvre, as usual, is broken into the correct position, travelling at the correct speed and in the correct gear, but also looking and assessing what's going on. Yeah. So our positioning. Well, when we're going left or emerging left, we follow the curb around to the left, and we pause at the giveaway line if we're needing to pause. Now, the giveaway line means exactly that. You give way to any traffic that's coming along the major road. Okay, so you only have to give way if you have to give way, but that's where your observations come in. Yeah, stops we've talked about are different. You do have to stop at them. So your positioning is over on the left hand side, so that we're allowing anyone who's turning right to sort of get alongside us to carry on about their business. Yeah, so that's what we're aiming to do. Positioning. The speed as you're coming in. Now, the vast majority of junctions where you're emerging, okay, now I haven't done an empirical study on this, but I would say somewhere around 99.9% are going to be first gear. So you're going to slow your speed down, you're off the gas, you're braking, your clutch is all the way down, you steer around to the left, you pop it into first gear. Okay, so 99.9% of them are first gear. Okay, if you have got a wide open zone of vision, so imagine these two buildings aren't here, right, and you can see as you're coming in, there is an option to maybe drop into second gear, but you know that from way back here. If you know already that you're going to be able to keep going, then it's second gear. If you don't know by that point, then it's first gear. Okay, all right. So just because I've said some are second gear, it don't mean try to do it in second gear. It means recognise it properly. Okay, if you don't know, it's first gear. All right. So that's your speed. Yeah. So almost stationary, going into possibly stationary, or maybe keeping moving. Yeah, depending on what's going on. Yeah, gear, first gear. Now what you're looking at, what you're aiming to do is fit in with the flow of traffic on this side of the road and avoid any conflict with that side of the road. Okay, we don't want to cause anyone else to change their speed or their position, so we don't want to become a hazard. So you've got to get used to judging that. Yeah, so if there's a car coming along and you can fit out nicely with him, that's good. If he's coming a bit quicker, you don't want to be pulling out and letting that him, having to slow down and whatever, causing conflict. So that's kind of how you're making the judgment, and it does come with practice. You've got to be able to control the car. Obviously, you've got to be able to observe as well. And as you get better at doing it, it does make sense, and you start to do it fine. In terms of looking at other things that are going on, I'm just going to give you a couple of scenarios which may be sort of problematic. One of those being that there could be pedestrians around. Obviously, you might have a situation where you've got a parked car opposite. We shouldn't park opposite junctions, and this is a very good reason why, what I'm about to say. Imagine that's a parked car, which you can see as you're coming into the junction. Now that parked car is going to potentially throw any traffic on towards the mouth of our junction. Now we are giving way to traffic on the major road. So even though this guy has had to go around a parked car and come on our side of the road, he's still got right of way over us. Even though he's on the wrong side of the road, he's still got right of way over us because we're behind a give way line. So we have to deal with that. We can see that that parked car is there. You just have to be expecting it to happen. So that's a common sort of scenario that you get. Another one is where you might have a vehicle coming along, maybe a van or even a car, whatever the vehicle is, cyclist even, and they could be indicating to turn left into here. Now, you don't want to trust that indicator because it could have been left on by accident. It could be that the driver is potentially distracted. He might be about to pull up there, for example, so he doesn't actually turn in. So you've got to kind of look for those or anticipate that happening. Yeah. So my sort of rule I have for myself is I never pull out if anyone's signalling left, even if I think that they're definitely going. Now, if the scenario is that you've got time, so if there's a lorry or car, whatever it is, coming along and they're signalling left way back here, the signal sort of from that distance, you're making a judgment, well, I've got time anyway, because it's irrelevant the fact he's signalling or turning left because you've got time to go in front anyway. But I never use this indicator in sort of negative anticipation, if you like, anticipating that he's going to turn, and then so I get going because I can see he's going to turn, but it's negative anticipation, so you don't want to negatively anticipate. So you need to make sure, if you're going to pull out in front of someone who's indicating left, that you can definitely see that there's nothing overtaking them, but also that they are definitely turning. Now, a scenario that you kind of get with this, I know I'm going on about this a little bit, but it's a common type of accident, and it can be a fatal one as well, because of what can happen. From this position here, right, so imagine he's not there for a moment. From this position here, you're looking along the road like that, right? So you can see what's going on here potentially, and you can see what's going on here. But you've got a sort of moving blind spot behind this lorry. Now, what you don't know is what's behind that lorry, okay? So you could have a motorbike, for example, or some young chap on a motor scooter, and even if this lorry's turning left, as he gets to this position and you're happy that he's turning, you haven't actually seen this motorcycle coming along, this guy on his scooter, or even that car, for example. So by the time the lorry gets to there, the motorcycle, scooter, has sort of accelerated to come around him. And, you know, if you've moved in that gap, then there's all sorts of sort of horrible things can happen there. So, you know, that's a scenario you just want to be really, really careful of, yeah. You do see people sort of pull out in that scenario quite frequently, and I always sort of cringe a little bit when I see it. But you know, if you never do it, you remove yourself from that equation of it becoming an accident at some point. Okay, yeah. So don't pull out in front of left turners. Once you are in the new road, you need to check your main mirror to see what's going on behind you, and then you cancel your signal. Yeah. So just recapping, looking at the type of junction on approach, checking your main mirror, your left door mirror, you're signalling left, we're going down into first gear as we get there. 99% of junctions are first gear, and you don't want to be pulling out if you're going to cause anyone else to change their position or their speed. Okay, so I'll cut in a bit of a demo drive and try and talk about all that sort of stuff as I'm driving around. All right, cheers. So down to the end again, and I'm going to turn left. So again, looking at the zone of vision, the type of junction. This is again a semi-marked junction. Main mirror, left door mirror, signal left. So that's your mirrors and your signal. Thinking about positioning, controlling the speed. Clutch down into first gear. Just going to nudge forward ever so slightly, so I can see a bit further down the road to the right. I can see that it's okay to go. Just want to keep tight left so I don't shove my front too close to that silver van that was coming past. Main mirror in the new road. Main mirror, right door mirror for that blue van. Again, no reason to signal. If that car's reverse lights were on, then possibly I would have done. End at road, I'm going left. Main mirror, left door mirror. Signal left, looking at the zone of vision. Type of road markings, controlling my speed, thinking about the positioning. Clutch all the way down. Gear selection is first gear with it being an emerge. Then pull through the biting point. Main mirror in the new road. Down to the end of the road. Turn left. So an emerge left. Looking at the zone of vision, type of junction. Main mirror, left door mirror, signal left. Braking, clutch all the way down into first gear, steering left for the positioning. Just going to catch on the biting point, just to keep nudging forward a little bit so I can see, and we're okay to keep going. Again, keeping tight against the curve as I come out, but not hitting it. Main mirror in the new road, second gear, main mirror, right door mirror for that van. Scanning to see if anyone's coming out of driveways. Down to the end, I'm going left again. Main mirror, left door mirror, signal left, a little bit of braking, thinking about positioning, clutch all the way down, steer tight left into first gear, effective observations past the two parked cars that are there. Main mirror in a new road, second gear, main mirror, left door mirror, full moving back left. End at road, I'm going left. Main mirror, left door mirror, signal left. Zone of vision I'm thinking about, positioning the car to the left, into first gear. I can see traffic coming from the right, so I'm just using bike to stop me rolling backwards. And it's a slight uphill slope, this junction. I can see there's loads of traffic. So I'm probably going to stick my handbrake on, because even though I'm still in biting point slightly, I'll just put my handbrake on just to make things a little bit more secure. And I think we're alright to go now. Main mirror in the new road, second gear. Don't want to go along here too quick now. On the other side of that blue van, there is something going on. The guy was sat with his foot on his brake. Main mirror, right hand door mirror. We're going left at the end now. There's no point in me going back left between these two cars, but I've got to be mindful of somebody turning in. So I don't want to be going too quick along here, just in case someone comes in towards me. I'm going left, main mirror, left door mirror, signal left. So that scenario would change, hadn't it? Braking, clutch all the way down, pop it into first gear, keep moving if I can, but give yourself time for effective observations.
Yeah, so it's a give way junction. You don't have to stop. You have to give way and go provided it's safe to go. Take an effective observation. Main mirror, left door mirror, signal left. Think about the position as you come in, nice and tight left, and your speed and your gear selection. Into first, so I've not actually stopped. I just took effective observations and controlled the speed of the car. I was in the correct gear, so the manoeuvre was good, yeah, but I didn't have to stop.